All right, guys, welcome to the long-delayed fifth edition now of New Generations Gaming, NGG PM, Blind Spiral here. Of course, we haven't done an episode of this in quite a while, so we wanted to go ahead and bring it back with our new season beginning soon, and we didn't have a better idea than to bring it back with somebody who's played in New Generations Gaming for a while. Most recent tournament champion here, Yordlez Gone Wild, Yimii, captain of Yordlez Gone Wild. So, Yimii, how are you doing this evening?
Doing pretty well.
All right, good stuff. So happy to have you here. Really excited about this next season. I know that you are as well. And let's just start talking about different things. Let's get it. We'll go kind of from the past of NGG because you've been around. I think Yours Gone Wild, formerly known as Tortuga, has been around since season 2. I know that's for a
Yeah, that
fact.
was our first season.
I think you're the longest team that's continued to play since then. Teams and players have come and gone, but for the most part, you've been there as a team this entire time. And we'll get to that in just a moment first. But let's talk a little bit about you. How did you get into gaming, and a little bit more just about you as a person instead of just Yimii? Like, who are you? What are you doing? And how did you get into league and gaming in general?
So my real name's Jimmy, hence, and like the Yimmy comes from just I used to play WoW with a whole bunch of people from Quebec, and they would just pronounce my name Yimmy. So I thought that was hilarious, and that's what I went with.
There you go.
That's kind of like where that name comes from. Getting into gaming, geez, I played Nintendo, Duck Hunt, Mario.
Okay, classics.
Oh yeah, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark,
Oh,
Halo, all the
yeah.
way through,
hmm
and then Smash Bros. And then StarCraft. I played a lot of StarCraft,
Uh,
like a lot of the original StarCraft, Brood War, and stuff like that. Um, and then when WoW came out, after playing some Warcraft 3 and everything, I couldn't quite play Warcraft 3 a lot because my computer sucked, so it would like be really laggy. But then I got a new computer, started playing World of Warcraft, and that is probably when I started playing games much more competitively.
hmm
Yeah, and then obviously I played some Dota and Warcraft 3, and I think it was sometime. Oh yeah, I remember the first time I played League was I was playing the StarCraft 2 beta. They took the beta down to get
hmm
ready for their launch, and I started playing League in the absence of it.
hmm
And even though I had StarCraft 2 pre-ordered and everything, I actually don't think I've played StarCraft 2 since then because I
Oh,
played League so much.
jeez. Yeah.
So
So that's how the league got started. How did it get started with Tortuga then? How did it get started with what is now Yordles Gone Wild? And like we mentioned before, you've had the same roster. I mean, you've been with Scamp as long as I can remember, I think.
he came
He
with
came in
us after
season 2,
season
right?
two.
Yeah,
After season
I
two.
think you had issues with your mid lane. He dropped out, but I know Strange, Charm, and the Unfriendly have been there in the bottom lane. They've been one of the best bottom lanes in
Hmm.
NGG permanently, and you've been in the jungle position. We'll talk about those changes more in a bit, but I mean, you've had a solid roster, a core roster for the long time. How have you guys done that? How has it happened with teams? I mean, Shadowhawks Gaming and Nine Line have always been bigger teams with new rosters every season, but you guys have stayed the same and been well and done great all the time.
So one of my real life friends, Ruby Rod, who used to top lane for us,
hmm
he was in a clan for Counter Strike, and that's where the Unfriendly's from. Like that's how I met him. And our old mid laner, the Scrub, had met a Strange Charm slash Maldicta from World of Warcraft, and so like we would all play together League all the time,
hmm
and it just happened that like the three of us were the best out of our friends, and I don't know, we've been playing since season 2 like of League,
Yeah.
so I don't know how many years it's been now. I think the Strange Charms actually like he's pretty young, and I think he was only I was surprised to learn he was like 14, I think, when we started playing together.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So,
Jeez. That's just
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, that's how long we've been playing, like 4 years then.
Yeah. That's just awesome that you guys have been able to kind of stay together too. Like I said,
Yeah,
with so
it's
many teams switching around and stuff like that, that it is in the way. So then continuing with that, Tortuga, like we said, has always been this big team, and so this is back when we had Generation X, Generation Y, Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and it was always there was always like the big group of three. I think is what we kind of referred to it as in
PPG,
Generation X.
Shadowhawks, and us.
Yeah, well, Lord Helix and PPG, depending on who you
They were
ask,
kind
were
of even.
interchangeable. Yeah, some people thought PPG was one of the big three. I didn't. Sorry, PPG. Back then, I thought it was Lord Helix, Tortuga, and you guys, but and SHG, but SHG was always kind of like the front running team there,
Mm-hmm.
and then you guys had always been. It seemed like one step behind them and in their shadow, pun intended. And
To be
then
fair, in
okay,
season 2, we did beat them.
you did,
We were like
yeah.
I think we were the only team to beat them. We were the first team to beat them.
Yeah,
One
I
of the
think they
two.
went 13-1. I think you guys beat it, or
Yeah.
something like that, or 12-2. Or
I know
something
we
like that.
traded wins, so
Yeah, yeah. And so now you've kind of finally surpassed that a little bit more with this most
well, it
recent.
helps when they weren't in there. So
Well, they were technically kind of somewhat, but yeah, but I mean, you kind of came out, and that's one of the things that people might say at the same time is, well, they weren't these big teams. But I think that you guys really did kind of prove that you are a top team, and it wasn't just a, well, this team wasn't there, and this team didn't sign up, or this team did this. I think you really did come out and dominate that last season. I don't think anybody was able to hold.
I mean, besides our first week, yeah, like our first week we sucked. We were awful.
Yeah,
It was everything went poorly for us.
0-3 week one, and then just never.
Yeah,
lost a
1-3.
game after that.
The only game we won was against the team that that didn't show up. So
yeah, the dream. And then yeah,
right?
you guys didn't lose a game immediately
After that, now, yeah.
Not a single game, not even in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Or
And
you might have gone.
honestly, most of the games weren't even close. I think we had one close game that went like 30 minutes, and the rest of them we wrapped up pre-25 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, just the hard engaged, the drive and the dream.
Actually, it was Sejuani the dream.
And Sejuani, yeah, you started playing Sejuani way
before anyone else
became popular.
Yeah, she's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's kind of like one of those things that sucks when she starts getting played.
I know, now she's banned and nerfed.
That's how I'm feeling with Cho'Gath is coming back into the scene, and Cho'Gath's my guy, or my creature, whatever the case is, and now he's coming back, and I'm like, God, now that people are saying to ban him here and there, and pick him.
We ban him every game.
No,
yes, we do.
That's my
Scamp
boy.
hates playing against him.
I love Cho'Gath. I could play him any position except AD carry and would enjoy it. So then, yeah, I mean, like we said, you've come out and you just obliterated teams. Did you guys change anything? Or I mean,
the top laner we brought in was a big thing. Like Young is his name basically, but he it was Ashe as love or something in the tournament. But it was because like our comp was an Ashe comp. That was like our go-to comp was a Strange Charm would go Ashe, I would go Sejuani or Nunu. And then it would be like some sort of Ahri or Xerath was like the best part of it, because the point would be to arrow someone with Ashe, and then Xerath could kill you from like basically a global ult.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was like the whole concept, and then it kind of transformed into a really good pick comp.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think that's how we won most of our games. Was running Sejuani, Nunu, Xerath or Ahri, and then Ashe Janna or Ashe Nami, Ashe Leona even.
Yeah, just then if they engage on you, you can just counter engage with Sejuani or just get those picks for free.
And Young was like finally a solid top laner. Like he could play tanks, because like a lot of our top laners before that, like they could play like 3 or 4 champions and they were easily banned out.
I remember top lane was the one position that was never really that stable for you guys.
And even when Ruby Rod was playing it, like I mean, he was all right, but he wasn't that good, and it wasn't even his main position, so he was kind of like out of place.
Yeah, it's kind of like where you have your 5 friends, and I mean that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
you got your 5 friends, and then like, oh, I made this one, and you're just like, I mean, I guess I'll top. I guess I'll do this because you guys aren't going to let me do anything else. Shots fired at Bacon for my team, making me jungle. God forbid. I need your tips, by the way. Let's talk about that though. New lineup. So we have a swap here, a big swap. At least when I heard the news, I was like, no freaking way. So Brubby, who we've known from Team Blue Milk, then Veritas Salutaire, and then he was recently on Code Luke's free Code Luke team. But then he was moved to the sub position there, and now he's your jungler, and you've moved to the support position.
That
Nothing
I have.
expected. I was expecting when I heard he was going to you guys, I thought he was going to make a return back to support from mid, but he's going from mid. He went from support to mid to jungle, and you've now gone to the jungle. So tell me about that change. How did that happen?
So basically, the unfriendly Casper, he can't play with us this season. He has commitments. He has class every Friday night. He's out on the West Coast. And he doesn't get out of class till 10 p.m. West Coast time.
On
so
Friday
that's
nights?
So that's 1 a.m. East Coast. So
that's horrible.
So yeah, and we only didn't find out until like 3 weeks ago. I don't know. Like it was pretty sudden. So
gosh, that's rough, man.
It was quite upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, I was actually really upset about it. He's played with us for a long time, and it's gonna be he's taking like some sort of accelerated course, but it's 6 months. He's basically not gonna be able to play with us. Because it's 5 days a week.
Oh, really? And it's just kind of just to get him done quick.
Yep.
Well, good for him. Wish him the best.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. That's just a tough one, man.
Yeah. So and
what was the idea? What was the idea for you to move to support? Are you just that comfortable with Strange Charm? Whose idea was it? How did
that was kind of my thought. Whenever we've duo queued, if I don't get jungle, I'll usually just go bot lane with Charm. And it's something we've done a lot before. I feel comfortable with him. Like him and I make most of the calls on the team.
Okay.
Like I'll make immediate calls, team fight calls. Charm does a lot of the
Big picture.
big picture calls, the
Okay.
macro calls. So putting us both in the same lane, we generally have the same mindset. It's going.
That sounds like it's going with like an asterisk next to it, like a learning process.
If I
Kind of
play
thing.
Alistair, it's all good.
Yeah. Incoming target fans.
Right. So, but I mean, I'm learning. I have to learn a lane, so
Yeah.
it's getting there. Brewby's done amazing in the jungle, like way better than any of us expected. Actually,
Yeah, that's his status
he
on
has
League, if
quite
I'm
an
not
impact.
mistaken. His status on League is today I learned I'm good at jungle or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's climbed all the way to like Diamond 3 since he started jungling. He was Diamond
Wow,
5.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
so like the past 2 weeks, he's gone from 5 to Diamond 3, almost Diamond 2, I think.
That's crazy. Good for him.
Yeah, he's really caught on to it. It was huge. That immediately made me think I made the right decision. So
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like it. Better than that old jungler you guys had.
yeah, right. He was shit.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so then the last thing before, if there's anything else you want to talk about, one big question. You guys all have the name change, except
Yeah,
for Strange Charm.
it's never gonna happen.
No, is it because he's in Diamond 1 or is he just not want to do it?
No, it's because he really likes that name, A Strange Charm, and Yordlez Gone Wild won't fit in front of it,
It
so
doesn't?
it doesn't fit.
What about Strange Charm?
Oh, but it
YGW
doesn't work.
Strange Charm?
It's okay.
It's got to
So
be a Strange Charm.
it does actually have to be that because it's a physics term like quirks and charms, and so he likes A Strange Charm.
Uh,
He saved up RP to get that name change, so
Really? Jeez. Yeah,
he was quite excited to get that.
because that's still your team name in TeamSpeak, or your room name in TeamSpeak. I changed it to Strange Charm.
Yeah,
Fucking
he
name.
noticed. Believe me.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does it then for us on this fifth edition and new first recent one of NGG PM. Any final thoughts that you have heading into this coming season, or anything you want to say?
Um, so I'm hoping it'll be a better season than last season. I know a lot of that wasn't your fault, but I'm hopeful. Like you've definitely looked like you've stepped it up. Everything you're saying makes it sound better. The hype videos are all right, but
It's all a learning
there's only so
process.
much you can do.
Yeah, we're taking as many small steps as we can to
Hopefully,
get to
this
that
next
point.
season will produce a lot better hype videos. So
Yes, absolutely. Hopefully, you guys can make some plays, and maybe we can get some of yours on there. Not Strange from dying. The reason he died is because he didn't have yours going well.
he didn't die. He didn't die.
Oh no, that was the unfriendly.
Yeah.
He's benched. All right.
Exactly.
Well, thanks, Jimmy, for coming out and talking to us, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you guys, the only qualified team so far in this season, and we'll see you guys June 19th for week 1.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Have a good night.
You too.